back to the Pop Culture Lens right here on the Pop Culture Lens YouTube channel. I know it's been a while, but we are back. My name is Christopher Olson. With me, as always, but this time behind the camera, is CarrieLynn Reinhard. CarrieLynn and I, we're in Vienna right now, Vienna, Austria. We are taking a little bit of a trip, and while we were over here, we decided to go on a pop culture pilgrimage. Behind me, you will see I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but the Vienna Riesenrad. It is the kind of a Ferris wheel that appeared in films such as Before Sunrise and The Third Man, probably most famously. So what Carrie and I are doing is we're going on this little pop culture pilgrimage. We're going to some spots where some of our favorite movies were partly filmed. Like I said, here we have Before Sunrise, The Third Man. We're also going to be bringing you some information from Prague. We're going to bring you to some sites from the film Amadeus, from the film Hellboy, from the film Blade 2. So come along and we'll show you some cool sights. So, CarrieLynn and I are on the Ferris wheel right now. This is a really big moment for me in particular. I'm not sure about Carrie, but this is really exciting for me because this Ferris wheel that we're on appeared in two of my favorite movies, in The Third Man and Before Sunrise. In The Third Man, this is where Harry Lime and Holly Martins kind of have their reunion and have a confrontation. And then afterwards they get off, and there's the famous Ku Klux speech that Orson Welles delivers and supposedly wrote himself. So for this leg on our pop culture pilgrimage, CarrieLynn and I are currently in Girardi Park in the heart of Vienna for a very specific reason. Right here behind me is the entrance to the sewer where Harry Lime escaped down into the sewers to get away from his pursuers, and the police eventually figured out where he was, so they opened this up and went down in after him. And then the big climactic chase sequence of the film occurs down in the sewers, which was filmed somewhere else, but is supposed to be down here.
Magic of cinema. The
magic of cinema, which we will talk a little bit more about in the conclusion to these episodes. For now, though, we're going to find some other locations, and we'll bring you more information about all of this and everything else that we're going to be looking at here in Vienna. So for this leg of our pop culture pilgrimage, CarrieLynn and I are currently across the street from the Hotel Zacher. This hotel was featured in the film The Third Man. This is where Joseph Cotton's character Holly Martins stayed when he comes to Vienna. This is also, interestingly, where the author Graham Greene stayed. He arrived in Vienna in February of 1948, and he stayed here at the Hotel Zacher and met a British intelligence officer who told him the story that became the inspiration for The Third Man. So this is kind of like a connection between both the film and the actual history behind the film, and then just some actual history that was then sort of interwoven to make The Third Man.
Right now, to make the film, I'm actually leaning up against the Opera House. That's how historical we are right now.
Yes.
This is also apparently where they made a very famous chocolate cake called the Zacher Torte.
Alright, so we are continuing on with our pop culture pilgrimage. We are currently in Josefsplatz. This is a square that is dedicated to, who is it, Carrie?
Emperor Joseph.
Emperor Joseph. And the statue behind me is of Emperor Joseph. And this is also in the film The Third Man, where Harry Lime's body was supposedly found. Holly Martins is informed by a neighbor that his best friend, Harry Lime, was hit by a car just over here, and his body was found here. And this is also where the titular Third Man was supposedly seen in the film. Behind me, across the street over there, is the address 5 Josefsplatz. I'm butchering all of these words, and I apologize to any of our Viennese audience. But this is where Harry Lime's apartment was in the film The Third Man. And as you can see, the doorway with the statues there was featured pretty prominently in the film. And this is right across the street from where Harry Lime's body was supposedly found after he was hit by a car. So this is a pretty big moment for me because of how prominently this was featured in one of my favorite films. So the next stop on our pop culture pilgrimage is another really pivotal location from the film The Third Man. Behind me, you'll see this doorway. This is 8 Schrevogelgasse. Again, I apologize if I am mangling these Viennese, these Austrian words. But this was a really pivotal filming location from The Third Man, because this is where we first see Orson Welles, a kind of rather puckish Orson Welles, as Harry Lime. He's standing in this doorway. There's a little cat down by his feet. A light shines on. He's in the shadows. We can't see his face. A light turns on, and suddenly we see him. And this is where that took place. Alright, so CarrieLynn and I are currently in Ruprechtsplatz. We are here where Holly Martins and Anna are chased by an angry mob after a misunderstanding in the film The Third Man. Behind me you can see the church, which appears in the film. And they came down these stairs and then went down that way then.